So, is this a cautionary tale, or is this something that is going to work out in a fluke? I don't know. If you want to find out, follow me. Yes, I'm teasing y'all. Come on in. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm glad you're here today. Whether you are new or you're returning, I am glad with whatever time you decide to spend with me today. Now, if that wasn't a big tease, right? Grab your project, grab your drink, and let's see what we're getting into. Yes, I'm dipping into the caffeine, and I don't know where my little... Here it is. I had cleared off my table earlier because I was packaging an order, and I like my table to be clear so that I can use my little thing to make sure there's no stray pieces of thread, because I sew, so there's a lot of thread around, right? Alright. Well, a while back, I had a request from one of you for Highland cows or puppy dogs. I showed what I had, and then I went searching for other fabrics, right? Well, I found one. And I got a hold of the customer, and that's the one they want. You know, I found several, sent the customer some, and they chose this one. Now, let me tell you. Before I open it, I've already opened it, but before I show you, this is where that cautionary tale comes in. Because when I opened it, I was like, oh no, they sent me the wrong thing. I was so upset. I told my daughter-in-law, I was like, look, I looked at the listing, said 100% cotton. What is going on here? They sent me the wrong thing. So I went back, looked at the listing. Excuse me. It did not say 100% cotton. It did not. So, that's where the cautionary tale comes in. Gorgeous fabric. Gorgeous fabric. Absolutely beautiful fabric. The problem is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make her tote out of this. And it just came in. It was late, by the way. It was, let's see, 2 days late? 3 days late. Y'all have not flipped my calendar. It says May. It just got here yesterday, so it was 2 days late. Okay, so beautiful fabric. I'm excited to give it a shot. But could you imagine the tote that this is going to make? It will be absolutely gorgeous. Now, my concern comes in is because it says it's 100% polyester. But it's so stinking soft. Oh, it's so soft. So we're going to give this a go. I will show y'all the end result. I will show you the end result. Because I did, if it works, you can order a drawstring bag or a tote in this. Because I did get enough for her order and one more order. One more tote. But I can stretch that. If I do, I could possibly make 2 more. We'll see. But let me see if this works. But y'all, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at those Highland cows. Or that Highland cow. And this stuff is so stinking soft. Fingers crossed that I can make this into a bag today. Or a tote, I mean. Because she did order a tote. I'm hoping. Okay, I'm hoping. But in my hurry, because I had did searching for 100% cotton, and I have been around the internet enough. I should have known to verify, trust but verify, to make sure that the listing I was looking at was 100% cotton. Now my fear with this is because of the interfacing that I use, I have to iron it on. I don't know how this is going. Now, I do have polyester setting on my iron, so, you know, we're going to keep our fingers crossed because this is stunning. Stunning. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Oops. Let me put that thing up. All right. Now, I will show you something. I have a couple more things to show you and a couple ideas that I've been tinkering around in my brain. But you see this bag? It's got something that y'all have seen in multiple colors, but I did not know existed in black background. Are you ready? I got so stinking excited for this. And I didn't buy much, but I wanted to see if anybody wanted any. And I should have bought more because the minute my daughter-in-law saw it, she's like, ooh. So I might have to make her a bag. I might. She's going to have just as many bags as me. But look. It's the daisies with a black background. Is that not beautiful? Alright, so I have, let me see if I can see them. Where did I put them? Where did I put my daisies? I know I have them, y'all. I have pink. I don't know where I put my daisies. I can't see them. But I know I have pink. I have purple. I have blue, but I'm trying to remember how blue my blue is, and I had it sitting right there, and I don't know where it went. So I have 4 colors, right? I have pink, blue, purple, and black. Yeah. I know. That's screaming to be a tote with black bottom and a black handles. Oh my gosh. I might have to get more of that. I really might. But I can't remember just how many they had. There wasn't a whole lot on the bolt for this. So that might be why I didn't go forward and get more. But mainly it's because I wasn't sure that this would move. Even if it didn't, I think I'm going, even if it doesn't, if y'all don't go crazy over it because it's a black background, I still might do it because I might do me a daisy baby quilt. Or even a daisy lap throw for me. Ooh, I like that idea. I might do that. Okay. So that's all for the new stuff. Now, I know I'm doing that now thing again. Sorry about that. When I was in the store probably about a month or 2 ago, I wrote myself a note. This blue as a border for my kaleidoscope quilt. I like that idea. Because remember I told y'all if I didn't write it down, I would forget it. Told you. But I was looking at this. And I think what I'm going to do is, if I do not, because I have a lot of fabrics that I would love to show y'all. And possibly make into bags if there's enough interest. But there's going to be not only new fabric in these videos, it's also going to be me pulling from my stash as well, because I am a firm believer in using what you have. Now there are things that catch my eye. or things that are requested. Okay, those don't count. Well, these count, but things that are a specific order request, you know, that's going to happen. But I have so much beautiful fabric in here that I want to highlight and say, look, we can make these fabrics sing. So I thought about this with some tropical fish. And I just pulled these off of my shelf. I have not laid them out with it yet. I don't know if I like it, honestly. Alright, so this is the tropical fish I have. Okay. Forgive me, it's cut in different ways. So I'm not sure if I like what that would look like. Let me see. Let me see if I can hold it up. Yeah, that's not working. Let me see if I can hold it up against my chest. See, I don't think I would like that. Because looking at it here on the table, that's why I held it up for y'all to show you. It doesn't wow me. Now, I may end up making a bag and doing... Now, this is my drawstring bag, not a tote bag. I do have enough here if y'all want me to make a tote. So if you do want me to make a tote, holler so that I won't make this into a drawstring bag because I don't have enough for both. Actually, I do. Yeah, if I did a black... Yeah, I have enough for a tote and a drawstring bag. So first I'm going to make a drawstring bag with a black bottom and a black drawstring sleeve. And then, because I think black sets this off. And I have made one in the past. I've made one of this with black. And then here's the other tropical fish that I have that I was thinking about with this. Now that I actually like a little bit. I don't know. It might be too much blue. Y'all tell me. Alright, I'm going to do it against my chest again. Y'all tell me. Is it too much blue? I like it though, but I'm just kind of hesitant. That would make a gorgeous tote. Only because you would highlight that magnificent fish right there. So what I'm seeing is like this right here. It's not wanting to stay up, y'all. I'm having technical difficulties. But that big gigantic fish right there, I think that would be gorgeous. I don't know. I bought this with my fish stuff in mind, but I don't know. It would either be with this one or not at all, and I would just use this. I would get me some more for my kaleidoscope quilt, but this right here would be the I have done this one in a drawstring bag, but that fish right there, that just, it's almost like it just screams it wants to be a tote. But I don't want to have all these totes made and then, you know, them not get, they not be something that y'all want, right? So I'm definitely going to make two things right now. I'm going to make the order if I can. Hold on, let me put my little scrap piece back in there. If I can make, I'm going to test a small piece of this out with my iron and my interfacing and make sure that they're going to mesh. Because if they do, then I will be making this tote today. Actually, I need to message her and find out if she wanted the whole thing, or look back at mine and her messages back and forth, because I don't remember how she wanted it. Because hanger shoulders. And I've been wearing this all day. But yeah, I'll have to look. But cross your fingers that I do not regret that purchase, because that fabric was not cheap. But that I can actually use it for her tote. And then I'm going to make me one of those. Because, you know, even if it doesn't get purchased, it's still worth making that bag. Okay. That's it for the fabric. That's all I've got. Now, there's a tote that I told y'all that I was going to make. And I'm looking at the fabric, and I should have showed that. But the way I am planning my weeks right now, Monday's videos are mainly about featuring a particular fabrics or particular yarns. Wednesday would probably be what I've made from the previous week's showings. And Fridays, right now, Fridays are going to be granny squares and different patterns that I'm finding. Now, if you're not a granny square person, I get it. And not a lot of people are. But then when people love granny squares, they absolutely adore them. Now, the thing is, I'm not a huge granny square person per se, but I love working in squares so that I can you know, do it during the summertime, right? Well, in the ones that I've picked so far we are 12 in. And a lot of them are in the red heart, the orangey, peachy, corally, the green, and then the off-white cream color, right? So I'm thinking, you know how I donate blankets at the end of the year. So what I could do is do a couple different things. I have three more big, humongous 1-pound balls, one of each color. So I think what I may do is, for the rest of the squares that I do, I might make them in those colors so that I can combine them after I'm done. Come fall, I can combine them and make them into those donation blankets. And the ones that I choose to do in different colors that doesn't match that particular blanket, I can do for the kitty shelters, or the kitty cages at the shelter, or the puppy cages at the shelter, and just combine them in, you know, little crate mats. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I have done some in different colors, but I would love to finish. I bought that yarn specifically for donation blankets, and I would love to be able to do that while providing new patterns for y'all to try. Now, I was looking at this granny square card deck, and I also got another surprise in the mail from Meredith. This will be another project that I'm going to be doing, and it is 20 animal squares. Now, these I cannot share the pattern per se, but I can make the squares and show it to you, just like with these. Now, there's the plans that I have coming is I want to make all 20 squares, okay? And I will use them colored according to the animal that it represents. So, and if you do want to get the pattern, you can get the book, because both of these are on Amazon. I don't know how much this one is. I know this one runs about $19 to $20 because I had it in my cart too. I was actually going to buy that one for myself. I just had not done it, you know. But when I'm done with this one, I can just combine all 20 squares and make either one baby blanket or two, depending on how big the baby blanket, the squares are. Let's see. And it even has shows you at the very end how to join them all. It's not telling me, on each page, it's not telling me how big they are, so I guess it just, your miles will vary depending on the yarn that you do. But look, they have got some beautiful, beautiful squares. And I do have new babies coming. One new baby just recently came. See, isn't that pretty? But that's getting the Isaiah, which is my great nephew, my newest great nephew. He's getting the teal, gray, and white quilt that I'm making. And then my other, Zachariah, he is getting a bulldog quilt, a Georgia bulldog quilt. So these right here will be either A, for them, because I can split it 10 squares per blanket. And even if I wanted to do like solid squares to be able to have 10 animals on each blanket, and I can send one to Indiana to Isaiah and then take one to my niece for Zachariah. Yeah, so all these different ideas. Okay, now, but that's kind of a preview of what we're coming into. Now, I am still working on my knitting for the 12 cast stones of 2026. I am still doing my scrap busting 2026 to where, and I need to start calculating, because I busted that thing. I busted 2,026 grams all over the place. All over the place. So we will probably touch base maybe at the beginning of July to see, you know, how far I've come. Because with all the squares, now we're not talking about all this yarn that I've gotten in, okay? I am using that as well, because that's what these videos are. It's about getting it, making something, and either selling it or gifting it away. Because I am going to, and it's not about overconsumption, because what I don't have any more room for anything else, okay? So as I get it in, I'm trying to get it out. Whether that is fabric, yarn, or whatnot. Because I fully believe that everything we buy has a purpose. And if we can make sure that it's just not sitting stagnant, then nobody can say anything to me, right? Oh, I've gotten some comments, yeah. But sometimes, though, it's about reusing or not reusing, like the destashing. And if I ever got to a point to where I needed to destash some of my yarn, y'all would be the first people I would come to. I would tell you, you know, whether it's acrylic, whether it's cotton, whether it's acrylic or cotton blends, which that's new to me. But mainly it's different levels of acrylic, from your basic to some really nice acrylics. Same with cotton, from my basic just coarse, hard cotton to bougie, very soft, bamboo-y cotton. So, and same thing with fabrics. But I don't feel bad about that for two reasons. When I buy something, I buy it with the intent to use it. It might not be immediately, but it is to the extent that I'm saying, okay, I'm not just going to get this yarn and keep it. I want to get this yarn and make something beautiful. Or I want to get this fabric and make some gorgeous quilts or gorgeous bags. Or even clothing. Though, you know, I have still not even made my dress with the material that Tina sent me. And I keep meaning to. I've ran out of time lately. I really have. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew that going into this year with all of the plans with, you know, the boys building their houses and us clearing the land and all that good stuff, I knew we were going to be busy. I just kind of did not realize how busy. And I even thought about there was a job opening that came my way, and I almost took it. It would be you know, not a physical stressful job, but it would take up a lot of time. I think like from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 7 to 4 p.m. or something like that. It wouldn't leave me a whole lot of time for the channel, for my products, you know, for my website, for my greenhouse. So I was going to do it just for the insurance alone. I really was. The pay is not all that great. I mean, it's not horrible, but it wasn't all that great. But for the amount of time it would take, I don't know if the insurance would have been worth it, because I don't know the company, the insurance company that particular company uses. So, it is what it is. So you're stuck with me. So this is where this is where I have to shine. Even if I am crazy busy right now. So, I hope that this week brings you everything that you want to get into. Whether it's a new project you want to dive into, a new craft you want to try. Yeah, that gets me every time. I have to say no. Even though there's so many things that I want to do. There really is. But anyway, so I'm going to get off here. I hope your week is super, and I hope that you enjoy yourself and that you can find one little bit of joy in somewhere in your day. Even though you may think the day is going poo, there's some joy to be had. You just got to look for it. But I will see you in Wednesday's video. Until then, take care of you. Bye.